So, uh, let me just say hello, members, staff, trustees, and friends. I'm Alex Goodman, the current board chair. I'm thrilled you all were able to navigate some new pathways to be here with us in person and online. Even with construction, much is happening, which is a testament to the ingenuity, dedication, and creative vision of the entire museum team. The slate of exhibitions on view now and over the next few years are 2 in number, but very mighty. They're remarkable, so please don't be deterred by a little dust, or maybe a lot of dust. It will be worth it as a more inclusive and accessible museum is created. Brian and the team will share details about everything coming up and report back on the past fiscal year. So this is my opportunity to speak to you in my role as one of the museum's biggest cheerleaders. Your museum, our museum, is committed to being a resource in our community, staying open through construction to offer access to art, education, and connection, to being a good neighbor, walking the talk when it comes to investing in our city. My own family has been dedicated to Portland for many generations, and that's not about to change. Art and culture can light the way for our city in tough times, which is why I'm proud that, like me, you, our members, support the mission of the museum. We're all making an historic investment in downtown Portland with the Rothko Pavilion project. So now we need to conduct some board business. I'm pleased to share that the Governance Committee of the board recommends the following slate of new and returning trustees: Linda Andrews, Ann Flowery, Mark Franzen, Suzanne Gary, Tara Kennetater, and Megan Shipley. The board's governance committee motions and seconds that we members approve this slate of trustees. If you are a member here in person, please raise your hand to approve the slate. If you are at home, please use the pop-up poll you see on your Zoom screen. Okay. I'm hoping the motion was approved. Thank you all. Okay. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here, joining us in affirming the power that art and culture has to connect us, to be a driving force in our community. I know many of you are going to visit the museum and the exhibitions afterwards, so I can say welcome and thank you. And Brian, now let's welcome Brian Fariso, who's our museum director and chief curator.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Alex. And it's nice to see everyone here today, as well as I'm sure people are online. And I think we're going to record this as well, so people will get a version of that. So welcome, everyone. Good to see you. If you are here in person, you see firsthand the significant initiatives that are happening around our campus. We will share a construction update in a bit. But if I could not be more excited for our museum right now, as Alex has said. Looking back at the past year, I'm so proud today to share the successes of our exhibitions, our programs, our events, and new media programs. Overall, in FY23, over 222,000 people visited the museum or attended a program or a special event. And that fiscal year ends on June 30th. Of those, more than 43,000 were free, which is really important to all of us, I know. We presented over 18 relevant and popular exhibitions, such as Perspectives, Dakota Modern, The Art of Oscar Howe, Jeffrey Gibson, They Come From Fire, Guido Sterol, This Is the Future, Masterworks Portland, Botticelli, and Symbiosis at Pam Cutt, among others. Our presentation of works by Oscar Howe and Jeffrey Gibson were accomplished by several important public, accompanied, by several important public programs and events for the Native American community here, including a symposium centered on the work of Oscar Howe. I'm also grateful to curators Kathleen Ash Milby and Aaron Grant for all of their work on these two projects in particular. Our connection to Jeffrey Gibson continues, and we are honored to have been selected, along with our partners at Site Santa Fe, to be the co-commissioning institution presenting Jeffrey's work as the U.S. representative at the 2024 Venice Biennale in Italy next year. It is truly an incredible honor to represent our country at this event that is often considered the Olympics of the art world. I hope that members, visitors, and the entire state share our pride in this moment. You will be hearing more about the project as we get closer to the opening in April. Summer at the museum was a wonderful example of bringing the world to Oregon and Oregon to the world, shining the spotlight at the art of stop-motion animation. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio celebrated the artistry and meticulous craftsmanship that went into creating the Academy Award-winning film. The animation studio responsible for the film, Shadow Machine, is based here in Portland. And we are fortunate to have members, and we were very fortunate to have members of their talented team in the galleries throughout the exhibition and on stage for events and programs throughout the summer. This exhibition allowed us many opportunities to build connections with Pam Cutt, the Center for an Untold Tomorrow, including honoring Guillermo del Toro at the 4th Annual Cinema Unbound Awards in June. Mr. del Toro also gave a rare talk to a sold-out crowd of over 800 here upstairs in the Krydell Grand Ballroom. With Pam Cutt, we are also announced the opening of a new space on Southeast Division Street called the Tomorrow Theater. And tomorrow night, we will celebrate its opening with the legendary artist, David Byrne. I'm energized by Amy Dotson's vision for the theater, mixing storytelling, mediums in unexpected ways, and allowing artists a full range of creative expression. There is no place in this town like it, and I hope that you will get a chance to attend a program here soon. Members receive discounts on all Pam Cutt Tomorrow Theater programs, plus there will be a special members-only opportunities throughout the year for you to enjoy. I would also like to encourage everyone to visit Black Artists of Oregon, which opened in September. It is a major achievement, and I'm grateful to curator Intisar Abioto for her vision and to Grace Cook Anderson, the Arlene and Harold Schnitzer curator of Northwest Art, for her commitment to bringing this important exhibition to our galleries. As we reflect on the past year and look ahead to what is next, I would like to share more about what makes any given year successful. As you know, there are a number of metrics that we consider, including the budget and a total number of member households, which are fairly clear, while others are less precise. We continually ask ourselves if we are aligned with our goals of mission fulfillment, relevance, visitor experience and quality, equity and inclusion, community connectedness, staff support, fiscal responsibility, and stewardship of the collection, among others. We also remain focused on realizing the Rothko Pavilion, a project that will make our museum more inclusive and welcoming to all, which I will update you on later in today's presentation. But first, let's take a look at the past year at the museum with this video. a big thanks to my team for putting these videos together. It's a lot of work, and it really does capture, I think, the essence of the year in about a minute. So thank you for that, Laura and others. Now, please welcome Sarah Krajewski, the Robert and Mercedes Eichholz Curator, Senior Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art, to share more about activity in our collection and exhibition spaces. Sarah.
Thank you, Brian, and it's great to see all of you here today. I'd just like to reiterate just how great that video is. It's just so important to be reminded how art connects us, it inspires us, connects us to our humanity. So thank you all so much for being a part of that with us here at the museum. Today, I'm here to share a report on exhibitions, collections, PAM Cut, and more. We work hard to curate and produce exhibitions and programs that allow our visitors to see themselves reflected in the art on the walls and in the spaces of the museum. Our collaborations with community partners uplift the talents and knowledge of artists from Portland, and our programming brings art from around the globe and from across time to the city. Some examples include Perspectives, which celebrated local photographers working on the ground during the Black Lives Matter protests of 2020. Hitostyral, This is the Future, which immersed us in a garden reimagined through the emerging technologies of artificial intelligence. And the pairing of Dakota Modern, The Art of Oscar Howe, and Jeffrey Gibson, They Come from Fire, a wonderful juxtaposition of works from Native American artists who, despite working at different times, explore similar themes of identity, community, and self-determination. Jeffrey's installation included a photography element with Native American and BIPOC Portlanders, which was a wonderful way to connect it to the community. We're also thrilled that Erin Grant, whose work as a curatorial and community partnerships fellow was integral to these exhibitions, has now been hired as assistant curator of Native American art. Yes, it's fantastic. Other important additions to our team include Esther Murphy, conservation technician, and Karen Bishop, assistant conservator. Both were brought on board by grant funds that have enabled us to expand our conservation departments. Our partnership with the Numbers FM radio station continues to thrive. The Numbers team curated and programmed the Oxmute Gallery last year and produced podcasts for the current exhibition, Black Artists of Oregon, furthering the goal of that exhibition to record the stories of elder artists and other Black cultural producers. Pam Cut, Center for an Untold Tomorrow, is championing the Cinema Unbound ethos by celebrating new media artists who work across mediums and storytelling formats. Symbiosis, a haptic VR experience created by the Dutch team Polymorph, was unlike anything we've ever offered, a fantastic experience. And the Cinema Unbound Awards celebrated artists as varied as chefs, scholars, and filmmakers, among them Guillermo del Toro. During the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio exhibition, Pam Cut's summer camps were filled with budding young animators, and Pam Cut's Sustainability Labs initiative brought emerging artists to Portland for unique mid-career mentorship and learning opportunities. Now, right now, many of our collection galleries are closed during construction, but we continue to seek out and acquire important works for the museum's collection. Here are just a few works that we've brought in over the past year. This very special addition to the Asian art collection is by the artist Jusho, who specialized in flower and bird painting. Jusho was particularly noted for his beautiful ink paintings of wild geese, such as this one, and his works are quite rare and highly sought after. Henri Toulouse-Lautrec is largely revered for his mastery of color lithography, and this work of the performer Loie Fuller is among his most experimental prints. Each impression is unique, finished with a dusting of powdered gold and silver, giving it a shimmering surface. 5 Words in Orange Neon by Joseph Kosuth hung for quite a while in the Jubitz Center as a long-term loan to the museum, and we're so pleased to bring this foundational work of conceptual art and a visitor favorite into the collection. We also acquired works by 6 Black and Indigenous photographers who captured the urgent nightly protests in Portland during the summer of 2020. As part of the exhibition Perspectives, these works help us see, understand, and remember this collective moment in our city's history. It's important for the organization's history to acquire art from an exhibition like this. Jeffrey Gibson's glass panels are another opportunity to reflect this significant effort. We acquired 2 panels from his site-specific installation in the sculpture court, and each features handwritten phrases of affirmation shared in the Native community. So thank you so much for your attention, and now I'd like to introduce my colleague Stephanie Parrish, Director of Learning and Community Partnerships.
Okay, thank you, Sarah, so much. It's a real privilege to be here this afternoon to reflect on this amazing work that we are doing and that you all are supporting, and to talk about our plans for the future. Sarah and Brian have shared a few details, and as the Director of Learning and Community Partnerships, I'm just going to offer a few more insights. While Dakota Modern premiered at the National Museum of the American Indian, because of the pandemic, related programs and larger events were not possible. We were thrilled to be able to offer an academic symposium, the first of its kind dedicated to Oscar Howe, and to host an opening celebration. In conjunction with Dakota Modern and They Come From Fire, we were also able to offer unique programs and opportunities geared towards specific audiences, including a wonderful Power Up event for LGBTQIA2S+ youth with Jeffrey Gibson in attendance, and workshops for Native American students. It was a real highlight of our January last year. This past summer, visitors had a chance to mix and mingle with stop-motion animation artists during our animation art days for Guillermo del Toro's Crafting Pinocchio, and also enjoy free admission during our Miller Family Free Days. Our work with schools is essential and important, and it continues in a robust manner. We offered free school tours for over 15,000 students last year, programs and educators, a total of 9 events, and our annual Portland Public School Heart of Portland program welcomed over 1,500 students, teachers, and family members to the Krydell Ballroom to celebrate student visual and performing arts. Throughout the fiscal year, we welcomed nearly 7,000 visitors during our Miller Family Free Days. On view right now is Black Artists of Oregon, and we have already hosted many celebrations and talks. Also, every Thursday from 1 to 2, we have a Meet the Curator program where you can come in and ask one of the curators questions, talk informally. And today, between 1 and 2, I encourage you to head over and meet Intisar Abioto. She will be in the galleries to greet you. So, in all, last year, we offered over 62 public, youth, family programs, accessibility programs as well. None of it is possible without you, our members. And I'm also really pleased to announce that this past year, we launched a partnership with Bloomberg Connects. It's a free app made possible by Bloomberg Philanthropies. We launched it with Pinocchio, and over 5,000 downloads of that audio guide are now in the hands of Portlanders. It's available in multiple languages. If you haven't downloaded it, I encourage you to do so. And with that, I will now turn it over to my colleague, Gareth Nevitt, our Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you, Stephanie. Membership is always a key metric for us, and this slide shows just how well the museum is supported by you, the members. In financial year 2022, we saw a large increase in new members as a result of the fabulous Frida Kahlo exhibition. Although we don't always retain everyone after a blockbuster like that, you can see that the current membership numbers compare well to pre-pandemic levels. Looking at the components of our operating revenue, you can see that membership in fact accounted for 15% of our total revenue, which is up from 14% last year. Admissions were down from 16% to 9% as a result of the continuing problems in our downtown area. I saw recently that the latest data shows that foot traffic in Portland is still only at 61% of pre-pandemic levels. In response to this, we've increased our security presence, both inside and outside the museum, and this is beginning to pay off in the positive comments we've received from visitors and neighbors. Earned income from the store suffered in line with admissions, but our event rental business in these beautiful spaces is slowly recovering and is up $900,000 since last year. Donations in the form of contributions and grants continue to make up the lion's share of our revenue at 50% of the total, and this includes 2%, only 2%, from state and local government. This breakdown of our expenses shows that people continue to be the most important part of our budget at 63% of the total. In line with other employers in our sector, we gave all employees a 6% pay rise for the year. Costs for art acquisition and exhibition installation were down by $600,000, but otherwise, the percentage spent on occupancy, merchandise, and support services remained the same as the prior year. Our investment portfolio increased by $4.1 million over the year, net of withdrawals to fund operating expenses. The portfolio is invested for the long term across a variety of asset classes, as seen here. This is designed to reduce risk while maximizing returns over time. And this slide shows the historical returns from the portfolio. For the current year, we slightly underperformed our benchmark, being in the 60th percentile compared to other funds of a similar size. Over the longer term, though, our performance has been in the top quartile, and since the index began in 2002, we're still ranked in the top 3%. If you've been paying attention, you will have noticed that our expenses exceeded our revenues this year by $2.5 million, and obviously that's not sustainable. Fortunately, though, thanks to various federal COVID relief programs, we've had the reserves to fund this deficit, and the board has approved a plan to use these funds to return to a balanced budget within the next 3 years. And next, you will hear about some exciting upcoming exhibitions that will help us with that plan. Thank you. Over to you, Brian.
Thank you, Gareth. And I continue to be grateful, as Stephanie said, to all of our members and our donors and our foundations and corporate sponsors who make this work possible. Without you, none of what we do would be possible whatsoever. Now, let us take a look at the slate of exhibitions that we have planned for the next year. So let's run the video.
Traditionally, art museums display objects in their collections grouped by culture, medium, or time period. One gallery for European art, another for photography, and so on. And that's been true for us as well.
Since we've had to pack up and move out of the collection galleries during our renovation and construction project, we saw an opportunity to try something different with a collaboratively curated exhibition. And we started with a simple set of questions. How can we present the collection at this particular moment of transformation? And can we do it in a way that is inclusive, expansive, and fun?
In the exhibition, Through Lines, Connections in the Collection, visitors will encounter playful and provocative groupings that explore a range of artistic expression and show the power of artworks to resonate with each other despite their disparate backgrounds. you will see themes of portraiture and representation, environment and place, unexpected uses of materials, and color. We hope that Through Lines prompts us all to think about the works in the collection as jumping-off points for stories and conversations that foster a greater sense of connection among us.
We can't wait for Portland audiences to see Africa Fashion, which has been celebrated by the international press. Coming from the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, after a stop this summer at the Brooklyn Museum, Africa Fashion celebrates the richness and diversity of African creativity, cultures, and histories through the lens of fashion. The exhibition explores the vitality of a fashion scene as dynamic and varied as the continent itself. Visitors will see an extensive display of textiles, contemporary fashions, adornments, photographs, and video, and experience the creativity, ingenuity, and global impact of contemporary African fashions in this one-of-a-kind exhibition.
Portland is a sneaker city, and I'm thrilled that we are bringing Future Now, virtual sneakers to cutting-edge kicks, to our museum. This groundbreaking new exhibition comes to us from the Bata Shoe Museum in Toronto, Canada, and features nearly 60 futuristic footwear designs like the auto-lacing mag from our hometown shoe giant, Nike. The exhibition explores how cutting-edge technologies, unexpected materials, and new ideas are transforming footwear today. Visitors will see digitally designed and 3D printed shoes, sneakers made from mushroom leather and reclaimed ocean plastics, and footwear created just for the metaverse. Future Now is sure to delight design enthusiasts, shoe lovers, and futurists.
Psychedelic Rock Posters in Fashion of the 1960s is an exhibition that reveals the passion and creativity of the era. Visitors can look forward to seeing more than 200 iconic rock posters along with vintage fashion ensembles. The Haight-Ashbury neighborhood in San Francisco was an incubator for ideas, expression, social thought, and music. And at the heart of it all was the psychedelic experience. Capturing the heady nature of life and music of the era, poster artists invented a distinctive graphic language to communicate the excitement of rock concerts. The posters combine elements of Art Nouveau, Wild West posters, and Victorian engraving with vibrating color, inventive lettering, and provocative design. Fashion reflected and influenced the psychedelic look of the posters. Everything from embroidered denim and hippie fringe to crochet and velvet. So find your bell-bottoms, paisley shirt, and dancing shoes and join us in the galleries.
It's been over a year since we became Pam Cutt, Center for an Untold Tomorrow, bringing to life our Cinema Unbound ethos in everything from concerts and live documentaries to classes, camps, and exhibition partnerships with the museum. There's so much to look forward to in the next year and beyond, starting with the biggest news. The Tomorrow Theater is opening tomorrow. That's right. As you all are attending the annual members meeting today, we are opening our doors to our new East Side Outpost tomorrow night, November 3rd. Cinematic storytelling, like artists and audiences, comes in all varieties and flavors. At the Tomorrow Theater, we're building a home for cultural snackers, a space where when people walk through this door, they will never quite know exactly what tomorrow brings. This is a home for creators, content, and audiences who are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We are firmly committed to mixing it up. Each month will feature thematic, signature events that run the gamut, from internationally known artists taking over the space, to gaming nights, live podcasts, performances, and more. And there will be awesome food and drink available, and members will get discounts on most all events. This is not a movie theater. It is so much more, and we cannot wait to welcome you. In other Pam Cutt updates, we're committed to meeting our creative community where they are and helping them to thrive in a multimedia world through classes, workshops, and robust artist services. And we're bringing the kids along too, so stay tuned for winter and spring break camps plus a full slate of summer camps and programs. And finally, our 5th annual Cinema Unbound Awards will happen in 2024, honoring artists who are pushing the boundaries of cinematic storytelling. We hope you'll join us in all the festivities.
This is when I usually mention that these special exhibitions and experiences are part of a larger program of collection gallery rotations, loan, smaller scale installations, and so on. But this year is different. Since we are in the midst of construction on the Rothko Pavilion, they will be taking center stage in the best way possible, including the Through Lines exhibition that will give visitors a new way to experience some collection favorites and find new surprises. Regarding the Rothko Pavilion and the construction that is underway, a lot has happened since this time last year. Hopefully, you are well aware that we have embarked on a once-in-a-generation expansion and renovation project to make the museum more accessible for all. In addition to solving long-standing wayfinding and access problems within the museum, this project has become a bright spot on the horizon of our city's revitalization and rescue plan. We are here, we are open, and we are actively investing in downtown. We believe in the power of art to bring people together and to achieve what our city needs to activate. And it's not just our own belief in the power of art. There is an economic data that backs all of this up. In fact, arts and culture brings us together at a time of isolation and division. It is notable that a newly released study by Americans for the Arts found that 72% agree that arts and culture provide shared experiences with people of different races, ethnicity, ages, and beliefs. That same study affirmed the economic impact of the arts in Oregon, including the following statistics. In our state, the nonprofit arts and culture sector is a $9.3 billion industry, 3.4% of the state economy, and supports over 62,000 jobs, bigger than transportation, utilities, and agriculture. The arts accelerate economic recovery. A growth in arts employment has a positive and causal effect on overall employment. Oregon's nonprofit arts industry alone generates $829 million in economic activity annually, and that's from 2022. Spending by organizations and their audience, which supports over 13,000 jobs and generates $155 million in local, state, and federal government revenue. Arts drives tourism and revenue to local businesses. Attendees at Oregon's nonprofits arts and cultural events spend an average of $39.14 per person per event beyond the cost of admission on such items as meals, parking, and lodging. Vital income for our local businesses. 10% of attendees live outside the state. They average $77.55 in event-related spending. These are certainly powerful numbers, and I hope they bolster your belief in the multiplier effect of your membership. It has a direct impact on our community, so a big thank you. We are seeing that economic impact even now with construction crews, vendors, and partners hard at work bringing the Rothko Pavilion project to life. With all of the fencing, construction crews, and closed-off spaces, you may be wondering what is currently happening and the timeline for the project. First of all, and again, thank you for your patience and support as we navigate operating an art museum under construction. I would like to share a short video animation from our contractor, Mortensen Construction, that will give you a sense of how construction will progress. We started with the construction of a new building dock on Southwest Jefferson. Demolition was first, then the steel beams, and now it's nearing completion. Here you see the temporary entry fencing. and at the center of the campus where the bulk of the construction will be happening now. Next up is removing the glass pleat and preparing the MARC building. Then bringing the floors down in the Hoffman wing, including shoring up sections for stability until the pavilion is built. Before we can remove the basement, we need to excavate down and do some additional shoring up there as well. So this shows that you will see soil pins and trench boxes that will support this work. And finally, here is the tower crane that will be set up in February, and then the steel for the pavilion will begin in May of 2024. It's that simple. We are on track for completion in the spring of 2025. Once the construction is complete, it will take time to reinstall the galleries and open the new spaces to the public by the summer or the fall of 2025. It is certainly thrilling to see all of this happening after so many years of planning and anticipation. We will be communicating with you soon on ways that you can be part of this historic transformation. And finally, thank you again for your support. I hope that you will continue to renew your memberships and join us in the galleries and at programs in the months and years ahead. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you. And we are concluded.